Hi guys, this is a guy 1013 here with a deck discussion and gameplay video. The reason why it's no longer deck profiles because I'm talking. Now let's start with the grade 3s. Let's start with the one of. I run only one copy of the Break Ride. The reason why is he's the least useful card in the deck. So that's why I run one copy of him. Riding the Break Ride doesn't give us much buff and it actually hurts the main strategy of the deck, which I will now go to. The main strategy of the deck is riding Maidens Venus Trap News and trying to deliver a fourth attack on the turn, which you can do if you run out of extra copies of a card in the deck, which is her main skill. I already explained her skill in the decks discussion previously, somewhere the YouTube channel. Then I run 4 copies of Maiden of Trailing Rose as my heal because she's a good card, but you don't want to ride her. Last but not least, Maiden of Venus Trap River. She's a good backup card after Muse. But the only good aspect of her is that she is not limited by having rear guards. She's only limited by having at least one rear guard to use her skill. Muse requires you to have a lot of rear guards in your field so you have more chances of getting an extra attack. Reverse just fills up your board. So a good strategy is ride reverse first. Use her skill to call a full board, and if you have enough cards left, ride Muse. Try to finish it off with Muse, but I prefer to just stay on Muse compared to reverse because reverse is just like I barely use her skill. I mostly use Muse. Next to grade 2, I run one copy of 10k vanilla because I can't think of any other good card as one of maybe a soft damager, but I run the new PG, so I don't need it. Next up, my Maiden of Rainbow Wood. Some people might say run the mushroom card, but the mushroom card requires you to have a full board. There's a chance you might not have a full board, so that's why I run her. And plus majority of the card skill here in the deck requires at least one counter blast, so it's okay to have a card that can counter blast too. Anyways, I don't need to think much about counter blast costs because of this card. White Rose Musketeer Alberto because he's a counter charger. His skill Vanguard Rearguard. When this unit attacks hits the Vanguard, he counter charges 1. Then a very good card that was introduced in Wave 3 alongside the counter charger is Maiden of Cherry Bloom because her Vanguard Rearguard abilities when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, Superior Call Maiden of Cherry Stone, which now brings us to the grade 1. Maiden of Cherry Stone. She's a grade 1, she's 7k base, and her ability is when the attack boosted by this unit hits a Vanguard, put her to the deck and Superior Call a Maiden of Cherry Bloom. Meaning, if you have like a grade 1 column with her as the booster, you attack with a Vanguard. At the end of the battle, you Superior Call and intercept, so if you somehow couldn't kill your opponent that turn, you have at least some defensive options. And our one-up is an 8k vanilla because I can't think of another card. Maybe a self-damager, but why would I run that? Next up is Lady of the Sunlight Forest, which is a Gojo clone. If you don't know what Gojo is, their skills are rest, discard 1, draw a card. It's good for filtering the deck, and it's good for filling up the drop zone so you can use P-Knight. P-Knight's ability is put to soul, pick 2 Neonectar units in your drop zone, put them at the bottom of the deck. If you combine with Sunlight, the Witch of the Sunlight, the Gojo clone, you can fill up your drop zone with unwanted grade 3 cards from your hand, and you can do P-Knight skill early, like, for example, you got so many grade 3s in your hand, like heal triggers. You can use the Gojo clone to rest, discard those grade 3s, draw possibly a non-grade 3 card, and since you're dropping more grade 3s more earlier, there are more grade 3s in the drop zone compared to normal gameplay, you can activate P-Knight skill earlier, which allows you to have more triggers, and the things are going at the bottom of the deck, which means in decreases your chances of having a whiff heal, a withstand trigger. So yeah, and my trigger lineup is 5 draws, 4 stands. You still need draw power, baby, regardless of how much draw I'm receiving via via this card. I keep forgetting their card's name. Of Rainbow Wood, of Rainbow Wood. But still, you want those draw power because you need to keep card advantage strong. Now let's start doing some gameplay. And no, this is my 4th time recording for this video. Who will be my first opponent? Link Joker like in Musketeers? Or it will be something else like Blouse? Dark Irregulars? What will it be? Oh, it is Oracle Think Tank. There's 2 chances. It's either Battle Sister, Magus, or Ride Chain. If it's Ride Chain, it's a VP farmer, guys. I hope you allow me to fight this VP farmer so I can get some points. It's not a VP farmer, so it's a Battle Sister, so I'm facing against Battle Sister. A tier 2 deck. Because like tier 2 is like you can play it in tournaments. Tier 3 deck is like you have no you can play it for fun. Tier 4 is like why do you have it in Meg Colonies currently at tier 4. Currently, at least for global. In Japan, Meg Colonies a tier 1 deck. Okay, he's riding the 10k beater. Interesting. Okay, don't know what to. I'm gonna ride Sunlight. I'm gonna ride this card, calling P-Knight. Calling this card here. Battle. Nothing happens. So I'm just gonna play the game normally. And hopefully you guys can observe me playing the deck and I don't have to talk. Why, oh why? Except you're gonna hear me complaining a lot. Because I complain a lot. Which is actually sad. This feels like more like a VOD from a stream, but this is not the stream. I'm actually recording the game. Oh, he or she chose to activate Waffle skill early. Weird. I wouldn't have activated that card skill now. I would have waited. And based on the fact Parfait is a critical trigger, he's in Team Crit. I have defected from Team Crit and went to Team Stan now because Stans are better in Zero's format. Sadly, I wish I was Team Crit, but I can't anymore. Let us check discarding the Star Heal trigger. Let me get something good. I got a grade 1. I'll do it later. Swinging. Heal is good. And I can use Peanut skill next turn. I already stated a while ago early in this video about Peanut skill, and the Gojo clone skill. I can do it next turn. As there's triggers, I'm gonna put back the 2 heals. He or she's riding Monaka, which is weird. But Monaka is still a good card. If he or she has a Persona Blast, I should use the third person pronoun of they, which is more accurate because I don't know who they are. Call it, it's a good card. I just got a damage trigger. So yeah, let's see how well my opponent can do. He can either swing with his Vanguard, hope to get trigger, put it to Parfait to give me a second attack, which most likely will not happen. It'll now go to me. Sometimes people do a neck an attack just so they can not press enter because sometimes that area is ineffective. Okay, I can't do damage. Activate P Knight's ability. Returning my 2 heal triggers at the bottom of the deck. Battle. Swing on the rear guard. Vanguard to rear guard, regardless if stance will do anything. I got draw trigger check. Good. None of my cards will be wasted. Swinging. And we'll now get a free grade 1 card. Now my opponent's at 3 damage. Anyways, majority of Battle Sister decks run self damager, so he or she or they are mostly good. Okay. PG. Hmm. Uh, Is that a one-off? That's like weird. But if you run for much, you don't want to have a non-battle sister unit. Only battle sister unit you want to have is like Silent Tom. Oh well, there's just weirdness going around. Alright, skip. Calling this. Calling the counter charger. Swinging. I draw a card. I drew a heal, which annoys me. Swing. I might heal early. I still have 3 heals left in the deck. Hope my opponent doesn't get a damage trigger. If he does, I'll be forced to attack Parfait. Okay, I can push him to 5. Or he, or she, or they to 5. I push them to 5 now. And I countercharge as well. I'm now looking at my deck. I'm running out of copies of the countercharger. So it's gonna be a bit tight. Let's check grade 3. So I have 3 copies of Maiden Training Rose, 2 copies of Venus Drop Reverse, and 1 copy of my Break Ride, which I don't even like. If there's another good card, I would run that over the Break Ride. I might run Orboros Dragon Sephiroth, but Orboros Dragon Sephiroth is like 10k base. I don't want to ride a 10k base unit. My opponent does not have the Persona Blast. Weird. This Persona Blast is the heal. He healed, or she healed, or they healed nicely. And I'm running out of stand triggers. Right, skip. I have officially I have officially ran out of pa 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 counter chargers. So I'm gonna hope for the best. Oh my gosh. What I did was kinda bad. Right now. I called a grade 3. I hope I have one perfect guard, so there is a chance I might turn this around, and I forgot I cost counter blast. Oh well. A draw trigger. My points now at 5 again. Will my misplay cost me the game? That is the question actually. It will not, because I can superior call a grade 2. Thank you! My misplay didn't actually. Thankfully, that card saved me from my own misplay. Because that misplay actually almost killed me. I have 2 intercepts and I can take 1 damage, so yeah, I'm safe. Oh my. Double. Oh my. It doesn't run draws. Weird. Let's skip. I have two copies. Battle. Swinging. Swing. One PG is gone. Swing again. Get the stun. Got nothing. Two PGs are gone. My opponent has only one card left in hand. My opponent has like 3 crits left in the deck. And 1 heal left. Let's see how well opponent can do. Can he do the persona right? He needs to drive check a crit for the win. One crit will end me right now. Phew, he didn't get the crit, so I'm safe for a while. I just lost my stamp trigger. Right, skip. Calling my heal trigger. Calling a Maiden of Cherry Bloom, as I think I have one copy left in the deck. I have one copy left of Maiden of Cherry Bloom, so I can do this. Swing with Maiden of Trailing Rose. I win the first game of this video. Hopefully, I can win the two more sub. Two, the I hope I can win 2 more times. If it does, it's a nice deck discussion gameplay video. If not, it doesn't matter because in the end, what matters is I do a good job explaining what I can do with this deck, which sadly I didn't. I just like complain here and there and just swing and do grunts, which is kind of sad. I really need to start building my budget Angel Feather decks. Like people like playing Angel Feathers, and I keep seeing the card that's ideal for the budget deck. Sheesh, I really need to build it. This deck here, this deck I'm using is a perfect build for budget players, excluding my Maiden of Trailing Rose card. Hmm. The only card here that makes it non-budget is that my Maiden of Trailing Rose, and everything can else be built on a budget, especially since Neonectar is just freshly finished. So I assume you got your cards ready, and the only cards that are not part of Wave 3 are Maiden of Rainbow Wood. That's a double or higher. Everything else is actually only Rainbow Maiden of Rainbow Wood and Maiden of Trailing Wood are the cards are from set 1. Everything else is like either commons or rares. Okay, I will be forced to write Maiden of Trailing Rose, which is not the best card to write, but oh well. The card you will be writing is either the Counter Charger or Maiden of Cherry Bloom. Because Maiden of Cherry Bloom's on the ability is Counter +1, Soul +1, Superior Call Maiden of Cherry Stone to call you a grade 1. It filters the deck, increases your chances of winning, and if you have the Counter Charger, you can recoup the cost a bit. Since literally none of the cards in my deck uses a Soul Blast except for Maiden of Cherry Bloom. Okay, I will be. This is sad a bit because I can't do anything. I'll be. My opponent rolled a 10k vanilla. There's another advantage of running 10k vanillas. You can do this, it stops your opponent from rushing you because they need tough grade 1s, which I will be getting right now. So next turn, I might be able to do some damage. fun fact, in my second attempt of recording this video, my first game, no, no, that was my first game I fought against, no, no, my first game I fought against Tsukuyomi player, actually started playing the game, and after I cut the recording, the next game after that, I fought a Revenger player using this deck, and I won. Oh wait, that was the third time. No, it was second time. Yeah, second time. But in the end, I defeated a Revenger player using this deck. That's what counts. Oh, I don't need to ride Maiden of Dreamrose. I'll be riding Maiden of Venus Trap. Muse. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh my. I could use the skill. Oh well. Battle. Swing. No. Attack. No. Oh my gosh, I can't use Maiden of Trailing Roses ability. I will use it so I can get another intercept on board. And I can kill his grade 3, so yeah. I feel I couldn't deal my opponent on 4th damage, but getting another intercept is a plus. So yeah. And next turn, I might be able to return back that heal trigger. As long as my opponent doesn't know how to play against Neonectar, which most likely he doesn't, because the most common Neonectar build right now is Musketeers. I'm not 4 damage, I'll ride Maiden of Venus Trap Muse. Riding, and let me check my deck. I have 2 copies of Rainbow Wood. Calling Alberto, then start swinging. If you notice, I haven't activated P-Knight's ability yet. It's because I don't have enough trigger units in my drop zone. If I have a trigger unit, I would have activated P-Knight's ability. But since I don't, I only have like 1, there's technically no point unless I want to add a non-trigger unit for a combo or something. Which wouldn't have worked because they'll be at the bottom of the deck. Maiden of Venus Shop Muse checks the top 5. Let's check what I get. A hit. I got a hit. Retiring Maiden of Rainbow Wood. I only have a copy in my hand so I can check. Oh my gosh, I got a heal trigger. Yes, hope my opponent doesn't get a damage trigger check. I got another trigger, regardless of his damage trigger check, I will be able to hit. Unless he has a perfect guard. My Revenger friend, do you have a perfect guard? You do. But you only have like 3 cards left in hand, and I am at 3 damage, I have 2 interceptors, I have 3 perfect guards, I'm a very safe position right now. And he has to deal me 1 damage so I can still do this all over again. My opponent just conceded. Because he knew he couldn't kill me this turn, but I can kill him on my turn. It saved us both time, Sadly, you couldn't see a finisher. So now it's the last game of this video because game 1 I won, game 2 I won, and game 2 was an actual meta deck, and the mere fact he chose to surrender means he's a good player because players know it's better to surrender than hope you can get lucky because it saves time. It saves you time. It just saves you time because if you give up on games when you know you're gonna lose, unless you're lucky, it it's better to choose to give up to save time if you're ranking effectively. Is he the same opponent? Because it's the same Ren character. You guys can check out in the video when it's posted. So tell me in the comments. Did I fight the same Shadow Planet player? The Shadow Planet player even has the same sleeves. Okay, riding the Gojo clone. Finally, I can show the power of the Gojo clone. Activating skill, discarding Maiden of Trailing Rose. Because I need another card. Yes. Okay. Here, sadly, I'm not facing against a Link Joker player, which is sad. And again, it's nice because in the end, Link Joker is kind of almost an auto lose situation because you won't have rearguard circles to use. And I said rearguard circle because Neonectar is a superior call type deck, which in turn means we need our rearguard circles to do anything. If they're locked and we have no known unlockers within this set, it's gonna be quite difficult. In the end, you just have to be lucky. You might outplay your opponent, or while I was streaming earlier today on Twitch, my opponent just deck himself out, or herself out, or themselves out, trying to use the correct pronouns is quite hard because it's easier to use the he pronoun because majority of players that are into card games are guys, but sometimes they are not a guy, they're actually a girl, so you might use her or she. But sometimes they are non-binary, which is a political thing, and you might have to use the word they because the other pronouns that some people are using they're just harder to pronounce. And I'm technically living in a country where English is the second main language, so yeah, difficulty all around. And I just stated earlier, I might complain. So there you go. My multiple complaints in every video will be starting now because of binge-worthy gaming. He commented on one of my videos I should start talking. You can blame or thank him. I will now be writing news. There we go. Calling this here. Calling this here. Let's check. Okay. I have more copies of. I have equal copies of Cherry Blossom Rainbow Road. I'm gonna go with Rainbow Road because it has an on battle ability. And Cherry Bloom only works on the Vanguard, so I only have no open space for grade 1. Venus, Trap, do your thing. I mean, Venus, Trap, News, do your thing. Ooh. If I get triggers, I can superior call a copy of the grade 2 to give me 2 intercepts. Standing power. Swing this unit here. Sacrificing the grade 1 there. To call a grade 2 here to give me 2 intercepts. We're 4-3. This might be a losing game here. Because he can do RFD after my turn. And I don't have a single perfect guard yet, so... Ooh, he didn't get an RFD, he got DR mood. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. Please don't kill Peanut Knight, please don't kill Peanut Knight. Phew, it's just Cherry Bloom. Maiden of Cherry Bloom. Ouch, and that's game 3, guys, and we just lost. If only I had a perfect guard, sadly I didn't. But in the end, it would have still have lost because of one thing. He could have been able to RFD me, or if I couldn't get another perfect guard, he would still be able to kill me with the Armwood's extra crit. In the end, in the end, it doesn't matter because as long as you enjoy the video, it's okay. Now, thank you, and I'll now start. Thank you.